Almost everyone has experienced that sudden flash of cringe when hearing their own voice played back in a recording. You send a voice note, record a video, or leave a voicemail, and when you play it back, the person talking back to you sounds surprisingly thin, unnaturally high-pitched, or just plain wrong. It feels like an uncanny imitation, as if someone else stepped up to the microphone using your words. Yet, if you ask a friend sitting right next to you, they will tell you without hesitation that the recording sounds exactly like you. The mismatch isn't a technical flaw in your phone speaker or a trick of your microphone. It reveals a fundamental difference between how the world experiences your voice and how you experience it from the inside. To understand why your voice sounds so foreign in a recording, you first have to trace the path sound takes to reach your brain. When any external sound occurs, like a dog barking or a car door shutting, sound waves travel through the surrounding air, entering your outer ear, passing down the ear canal, and striking your eardrum. Those mechanical vibrations are amplified by three tiny bones in your middle ear before reaching the fluid-filled cochlea in your inner ear. The cochlea translates those fluid ripples into electrical signals, which your auditory nerve delivers to the brain. This entire process is known as air conduction. When you listen to someone else talk, or when you listen to a video playback, air conduction is the only way that sound reaches your ears. But when you speak, something entirely different happens. You don't just hear your voice through the surrounding air, you also hear it directly through the internal structure of your body. As your vocal folds vibrate inside your larynx to produce speech, those vibrations vibrate your vocal tract, your throat, and the bones of your jaw and skull. These structural vibrations travel directly through your skeletal frame straight into your inner ear, bypassing your eardrum altogether. This second pathway is called bone conduction. Bone conduction fundamentally transforms the acoustic profile of what you hear. As sound travels through solid bone and dense facial tissues, those physical structures act like a natural acoustic filter. Specifically, bone is very efficient at transmitting low-frequency vibrations, but it absorbs and dampens higher-frequency sound waves. This mechanical bias acts like turning up the bass knob on a stereo equalizer. It adds a rich, resonant, deep lower register to your internal voice. Every time you open your mouth to talk, your brain receives a composite mix of two distinct signals: the air-conducted sound coming out of your mouth and circling back into your ears, blended with the boosted, bass-heavy, bone-conducted sound traveling straight through your skull. Because you have spent your entire life listening to this combined internal and external mix, your brain has categorized this warm, deep resonance as your true voice. It is the baseline sound signature of your identity. When you play back a recording, however, bone conduction is completely eliminated. A microphone sitting a few feet away can only capture the pressure waves moving through the air, the exact same air-conducted sound that everyone around you receives. When that audio plays back through a speaker, your ear receives only the air-conducted pathway. Without the low-frequency mechanical boost provided by your skull, the recording sounds noticeably higher in pitch, lighter, and far less resonant than what you expect. You perceive it as thin and fragile, even though it represents the actual acoustic footprint you project into the world. Microphones and room acoustics can occasionally amplify this discrepancy. Standard smartphone microphones, for example, are tuned to emphasize speech clarity, which often involves rolling off deep bass and boosting mid-range frequencies so words are easily understood over a phone call. Furthermore, when you speak in a small, reflective room, ambient echo can alter the tone even further. But even if you record your voice inside a professional soundproof studio using a multi-thousand-dollar condenser microphone, your recorded voice will still sound disarmingly unfamiliar to your own ears. There is also a powerful psychological layer at play. Psychologists refer to our preference for familiar stimuli as the mere exposure effect. Just as most people feel slightly unsettled when looking at an unreversed photo of their face because they are used to seeing their flipped image in the bathroom mirror, we are deeply attached to the internal mix of our voice. Stripping away bone conduction shatters our expectations, creating a subtle cognitive dissonance between our internal self-image and external reality. The comforting truth is that your recorded voice isn't worse, weaker, or broken. It is simply the voice everyone else has known, recognized, and connected with for your entire life. While your skull builds a private bass chamber just for you, the voice on the recording is the one that actually travels out into the world, carrying your ideas, emotions, and identity to everyone around you.